Hello, anime weebs and dweebs.
Yo.
Welcome to another episode of That Time I Got Reincarnated into a Podcast. Thankfully, today Selassie isn't giving any ad libs, and like I mentioned, I'm here with Selassie,
Sub G.
and of course, it's me, Winston. So we are going to begin with our review of
Review of Spy Family
Yes.
episode what, 6?
Seven?
7?
I don't know.
Episode 7.
I think so. Yeah, I think it's 6 or 7. But yes, spoiler alert, we are going to do the usual. We might dive into some spoilerish type of content. We are hoping by now you've seen it.
Yeah.
So
Should have
let's
seen
just
it.
get right to it. How was the episode for you?
Episode was Anya. Last episode, I feel like Anya was training with her mom to be an assassin.
Yeah.
This episode, I feel like she was getting an impromptu training session with her dad on being a spy.
Okay, so there's a very interesting thing I was thinking about when I watched this episode, which was that Lloyd, you can tell that Lloyd is, I mean, we know from the beginning that Lloyd got Anya because of the mission.
Yes.
This family was set up for a mission. So
For the mission.
He's not out here looking to be a family man.
Yeah.
But then, so with that mindset, he is doing certain things just for the sake of the
Yeah.
mission. And then it is who pulls him
Yeah.
back in, and it's like, you have a family, this is your daughter
mhm.
and everything. Even though he personally knows that Anya is not, like, this entire setup is fake. He even talks about it. He wonders how it will feel like to have a real family. Which is funny, seeing as he kind of does have a real family right now.
Yeah, he literally has a real family.
It's very interesting seeing Lloyd, a spy, having to deal with this. Because in the first episode, we see Lloyd just pretty much use a girl.
Yeah.
Like, for air quotes use, but basically...
Yeah, and just leave her.
Yeah, he promised
Yeah.
her marriage, blah, blah. He just left her for the sake of the mission. He is a man who is dedicated to the execution of the mission. But then now he has to deal with a child.
Yes.
I feel like the story would have been slightly different if all he had to do was get married. Yes.
Yeah.
He wouldn't, I don't think he would have been as interested in getting close to Yor per se. It would have all been superficial. Because if you notice, his closeness to Yor is as a result of him trying to find the best environment for Anya.
Yes, exactly.
So the pivot or the fulcrum in the entirety of the family is Anya. Anya is the glue that is holding his entire family together. What makes it funny is that she knows everything. She's the only one who knows everything.
Yeah, she's privy to everything that's going
all
on.
the information that's going on. But because of her childlike innocence, she thinks it's a game.
Well, I mean, she does she does feel the pressure of knowing, like, yo, the world peace hinges on me being able to do well in school.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then the funny, one of the funny scenes was when Lloyd was trying to get her to apologize, and he was using different means to try and get
That's what I'm saying is the spy training, because the same way they used to give him the codes,
yeah,
like on the food.
Yeah. But I mean, he made it very overt.
Very
And
overt.
it was just like,
It wasn't subliminal at all.
Kami-sama desk, like, it's not God, and she was looking up all over the place. But like, I'm just thinking about how Anya, like, because we see that Anya didn't want to learn, and she ran out.
Yeah.
And like she is going through quite a lot of pressure for a child.
Yeah.
And we all know it's just a story, and we know all the stakes involved. We know why this is going on. But it's just very interesting to see and navigate. And then it also goes to show a very interesting trait about Anya for me that we discussed before. You talked about how Anya is extremely dependent on her ability.
Yeah.
See, in the beginning, when her dad was trying to teach her,
Yes.
he was able to keep his mind on something totally different
while he was teaching
her. And she just wanted to cheat.
Yeah, so that power is not foolproof.
Yeah, her disposition was that, let me just get the easy way out.
The easy way out.
And then she asked Yor, because she thought that Yor also, and Yor also has...
What is wrong with you?
Yor also has her own way
Start
of
talking about killing, and they even forgot what they were talking about.
Then she has her, so when pushed to the wall, Anya just decided to learn it on her own.
Yeah.
And it shows that, I think, like what you said in previous conversation about this, is that when Anya decides to not depend on her abilities, she might actually be extremely resourceful.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Extremely resourceful.
I really think so.
So what about Damien Desmond?
My boy's in love. I'm so surprised that Twilight couldn't see. I mean, fine. No, I already had a feeling that this would happen from the last episode.
Yeah.
And fine, we the audience watching, we get to see like his heartbeat and everything.
Yeah.
So, and we see his point of view. But I feel like Twilight should have been a little clued in. Because even the friends saw that. Why is your face getting red?
Yeah, I think Lloyd isn't well versed in children.
Lloyd is a person who, at the entrance exam, he has memorized everybody's name, who the children are, who their parents are, what the parents do. Lloyd is someone that had memorized the names, occupations of all the illegible women in the city.
Yes.
I feel like by now he should have had a profile on Desmond, how he usually acts, how he thinks. I feel like, I don't know.
The reason my excuse for him, or my answer on his behalf, is that I think he said this before. He's now navigating the world of children.
So we really need to see how Lloyd grew up. That means he didn't grow up as a child.
I have seen it.
Okay.
I have seen it.
Don't worry.
It's very interesting. But basically, I think Lloyd is trying
manga readers.
Yeah. Lloyd is trying to navigate, is now being trying to navigate having a child. And that comes with its own nuances. So I don't think any of his missions have had to do with children.
It looks like, yeah.
Yeah, so he's now having to deal with children, and children are very volatile.
Yeah.
They could be feeling this way, like Anya will be feeling this type of way at one time, and then she just flips, and then Lloyd is like, what's going on?
Anya is even more volatile.
Yes, because of her abilities and her personality.
But I'm quite proud of her because she's in a classroom, all these people saying all these negative things.
Yeah.
And she didn't even let it affect her that badly.
Because she had one person who was on her side, Becky.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that means Becky was that important to her. Like Becky, because I think at the same time she was genuinely reading Becky's mind. So she realized that Becky's feelings towards her were extremely genuine. And I think that was more than enough for her. Because keep in mind, Anya has been through a lot.
Yeah.
Being able to read minds and living in an orphanage.
Oh, yeah.
Means you are privy to so much information, so much, and maybe these children didn't mean to be mean to her and stuff like that, but based on their circumstances, they are also thinking about themselves.
It would be really interesting to see some of Anya's life in the orphanage, because you can tell the person around the orphanage was like, I need to get rid of this girl. I don't know what she was doing.
Yeah. I think she was just creeping him out.
Yeah.
Because she was using, and like we've discussed in the previous episode, when we had discussed in the previous episode, was that Anya is privy to adult information, but doesn't have adult filter.
Yeah.
She still has childhood
adult reasoning and logic.
Childhood disposition. So she just says whatever she wants to say. So obviously, if you are living in an orphanage and you are in a shady orphanage, to be precise, and this guy is doing these kind of things, you probably be doing it. And I think that's one of the reasons why. Funny thing, this is a segue. So some people were asking, I was talking to some people, and they were like, they can't understand how Lloyd hasn't figured out that Yor is shady and stuff like that. And that they haven't been able to hear, Lloyd hasn't been able to figure out that Anya has powers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I was watching this show on Netflix, is Worst Roommate.
Mm-hmm.
It's a documentary.
Yeah, I've seen it. I've seen a few episodes.
You've seen a few episodes.
Yeah.
Now, in The Worst Roommate, there was this episode about this dude who pretended to be Palestinian, and they were in Chile, and basically they were in a dorm together. And this guy,
he was doing like he was ex-military and some stuff. Yeah.
It was always on red, like the whole thing. If you guys should go and check that episode of Worst. The reason why that guy could get away with so many things, like he could have people believing him so easily, was because these people were very intelligent people. Like for instance, there was this British dude who you met this dude only once, talked about buying land and the dude said, yeah, he's also interested in buying land. He said, he's going to see someone about buying land. Do you want to come? Blah blah blah. You guys go, and all of a sudden, you give this guy enough money to buy a house.
The guy looked so embarrassed.
Yeah, he was
about it after.
Even the Palestinian dude from Denmark was like, are you stupid? That he also checks himself. That's the best part of it. He checks himself and he's like, wait, I'm also stupid because I believe this guy.
Yeah.
And then this is a segue, but it goes back to Lloyd in the sense that when it comes to believing people, when extremely intelligent people or very intelligent people are easier to fool because all you need to do is provide bare minimum information of a certain
and you
standard,
fill in the rest.
and they fill in the rest. Like, for instance, another episode in The Worst Roommate was about this serial squatter.
Yeah.
That episode was crazy. It was crazy.
Like, it's that simple. You just don't just move in, don't pay rent.
Yeah.
Wow.
Pay rent for a few days and be like, I won't pay again.
Wow.
It's crazy.
And they're just moving people's furniture.
You know, Sunshine and I were watching this, and then Sunshine is always I told Sunshine about the Ghana land stuff. Where if someone squatter is on your land, you can't just evict the person.
I think it's like 6 months or something.
Yeah, like there's a whole. If the person has lived on the land for a certain number of time, it's harder to get rid
and they've
of the person.
put down like.
Yeah, and sometimes I was like, you can't do like, why can't we blah blah blah? And then when we were watching, I was like, okay, you American.
Yeah,
look
even in America, look at that.
This is worse. If you ask me, this is worse.
As far worse.
As far as like.
But I think we have those regulations in Ghana as well.
But they don't really.
You
can't even change locks.
Yeah, you can't.
Anyway, so back to that. So one of the women, when she saw that he said, oh, he's writing his bar exam or he's a lawyer or something like that, he was a white, like he fit a certain this thing. He gave the least bit of information and she filled in the rest for herself. So the average person of average intellect, if you give them just the barest minimum information, they'll fill it in. Now, an extremely intelligent person like Lloyd is portrayed, he will also fill in the blanks for you.
Yeah.
He has no reason to think that is lying because first off, he's using her for his purposes and she fits a certain requirement that he needs.
But I feel like he has to think though, this girl almost whooped my butt when she was drunk.
Yeah, but because his answer would be I was holding back.
But none of the other operators even came close to giving him a problem.
She has shown that she has martial prowess. She's told me that she did a lot of this thing, fighting, like
yoga. And she did yoga as a kid.
No, she told him that she used to do martial arts as a kid, and I can. And
she told him about the yoga as well for the pressure points.
You can believe that because she grew up with only her brother.
Yeah.
She had no family, so it makes sense that she learned how to
we
defend
the
herself.
anime watchers don't know anything about her not having a family.
She said it.
Yeah.
Lloyd said it in the second episode, your favorite episode, when he came to the dinner.
She said that it was only her and her brother.
Lloyd said it was like took care of her brother. They didn't have any parents. So you had to fend for him.
My bad.
Yeah, exactly. So he said that. So that's not a spoiler if you've watched the episode. So it's like there's enough crumbs of information for a very intelligent person to just fill in the gaps because he actually needs her.
Well,
Keep in mind that the serial squatter, these people needed roommates.
Yes.
So in the point of your need,
you're not really.
You fill in the gaps.
I agree, and we haven't seen her like go on a mission since she's been with him as well. So
So it's a very interesting. So Lloyd wouldn't. I don't think Lloyd is about to figure out anything anytime soon. Because he's so focused on his mission that.
And with Anya, I mean, what's he going to try and figure out? There's no way he even imagines that someone can have mind reading abilities.
But so how do you think, what do you think the projection of the story, how do you feel about the story?
I like it quite a bit where it's reached. I've seen what it's going to be. We're going to be watching Anya trying to fulfill this mission. We're going to be watching Twilight trying to help her fulfill the mission. And I'm sure other hijinks and things will come in. I'm sure there'll be like different school events like school trips, school fairs, different things happening. And so I'm pretty hyped for it. It's pretty good,
What about Anya's relationship with Becky? And okay, wait, how do
Becky is in love with Anya as well. It's going to be a love triangle.
I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say it.
Okay.
But I'm not going to touch that subject. Other than that, I will give extreme spoilers.
There we go.
So, but when it comes to the whole class, like the dynamic in the classroom, it's like now Anya is the delinquent.
Yes, the teacher was like, "Who's scary?"
Yeah, like the teacher was actually
Quiet.
yeah, I was actually afraid of her, and it's just so funny how Anya does come off as a delinquent though.
Yeah,
Because she's so strong-headed and she's so willing to just do anything as an adventure that could come off as not respecting authority. So I'm really wondering how many thunderous bolts or whatever they call them she's going to get.
Yeah, the stars, the golden stars.
No, how many of the lightning bolts?
Oh, the lightning bolts are the demerit points. Yeah, okay,
I want to know how many of the demerit points she's going to get before this show wraps up. But do you think Plan A would work?
I want to back the underdog because Anya is definitely the underdog for Plan A working. I think Plan A could work. Her getting enough stars to be stars. Yeah. I think it could work, but it will not be easy. It's be an uphill battle, but I feel like it could work.
Do you think she's gonna get this through sports and more physical activities than intellectual activities?
Physical is, I feel like, to be a balance. Physical is definitely an option, but she's shown that she, without her powers, can be resourceful. With her powers too, she's really good.
Yeah, very resourceful. What about Plan B?
Plan B looks like Plan B has already worked. To be honest,
I mean, yeah.
This boy is head over heels in love.
Yeah.
And so it's really down to how we haven't seen fully how the love is going to manifest. If it's going to be a typical kid thing where he bullies her because he's in love with her, then maybe not so well. But if he's actually going to try and woo her,
I think he'll bully her more because of his goons by his side.
Yeah,
because
like
they have expectations.
He doesn't want to admit to them. Yeah, like Ellis.
That's more the reason. But all in all, how was the episode like? What are your thoughts?
I like the episode a lot, and the funniest thing for me was just seeing Lloyd try and get a message over to Anya, and like the food one was just so funny for me because it goes back to how he gets his messages from Wise.
Yeah.
But yeah, the episode was a good time. I liked it quite a bit. Yeah.
Same. The episode. I mean, it
What's
wasn't.
your rating?
I like this episode because I love the showrunners. I mean, the manga is great by itself, but I like the way the anime is going in the sense that we have a fun-filled, exciting episode.
Yeah.
Then we have an episode that deals with comedy. Then we have an episode that deals with
this one's pretty emotional.
Yeah,
in the house.
There's it's like we get equal bits of it in each episode.
Yeah.
But then one emotion takes precedence in an episode. And I like that roller coaster that we're going on. Because now, Brock, if you're watching this right now, we get to feel the love. Like the family dynamic is growing.
Yeah.
The comedy is there. And it's like, all in all, it's an extremely wholesome show. And Elsie, if you do watch this is my recommendation for you as and anybody out there. We will have this conversation about
good starting anime.
That might actually be that's a conversation we will definitely have.
Spy Family is a pretty good
I
one.
think Spy Family
it's less of an anime story. It's more like a universal, a typical anime story.
Yeah, it's very baseline good. Like it touches all bases. You don't need to have been enjoying anime or anything like that. But you will have that conversation another time about best recommendations for new anime watchers.
One thing about this episode, it was good to see Lloyd readjust his thinking. Like, you know what? Real spy work takes time. Yeah. He's been rushing it.
Yeah.
Real spy, you know what? He has to dig deep, like lay low and,
figure everything out. Take it one step at a time. Yeah. And I think I think he's not used to working with other people.
Yeah.
In his
clearly.
Or not saying working with other people. He's used to working with his informants.
Yeah.
I think what he's not used to is that the crux of his execution of the mission,
like he has to rely.
Dependent on someone else. Yeah. So I'm still looking forward to. I think when I would like to see how Lloyd finds out that Yor is an assassin. I don't know if she will be sent to kill him.
Are they on opposite sides? I still don't know.
I read the manga and I'm not very clear on that either. So I don't know. Maybe I'm not been paying attention as well as
I think I haven't been paying attention properly either.
I don't know if they're on opposite sides, and it will be very interesting. I think they are on the same side.
Yeah, it
because
looks like.
I don't think her brother knows she's an assassin. She said that before. She said that in episode 2. Yeah, that her brother doesn't know.
We saw her brother in this episode.
Yeah, which is what the next episode is going to be about.
Sasuke looking.
Yeah, the red eyes. You know, I never until I saw his eyes were red before it hit me. Like, oh yeah, you also has red eyes.
I feel like you and her brother are meant to be Oriental.
Yeah.
Like Asian.
Yeah, probably. And then Lloyd is the what's that term?
What, Caucasian?
No, not Caucasian. He's
Slavic.
blonde with blue eyes. There was this term, Nazi era. That was the look.
We're definitely gonna have to bleep that word.
Yeah, that era. That was the look. That was.
I don't know Scandinavian. What's?
No, it doesn't matter. Anyway, all in all, my rating, it was a 9. Sheer 10/10 episode. One of the before we wrap up, one of the saddest part of the episode was when she was crying and when she was apologizing to him, and then she goes on to say that I'm sorry I have stubby legs because the goons were figuring out insults that Damien would use, which goes to show that Anya's ability are not as widespread as we would like to think, because he was thinking all these things but she never heard his thoughts.
Oh, that's true.
You see?
It was being drowned out by
negativity from the other people. So she was not focusing on what he was saying. She was just focusing on the other people with the same. Because at that time, this man was swooning over her and stuff like that. I mean, he didn't make it very overt.
Yeah.
But that was not her focus.
But it was a mixture of emotions. Like, there was anger there.
Yeah.
But it was really cool. Like, he's never been defied before. What is this? What did she do to me?
Yeah. Why is my heart skipping? Be calm, my heart. It was very, very interesting. But that was very sad to see her cry.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Then say that I'm sorry. And they actually showed her cross her feet a certain way where she said,
and
I'm
in
sorry,
his mind, she always had these puppy dog
Uh,
eyes.
yeah. Oh man, that was it was a great episode. Great episode.
Yeah.
I don't think it has fallen off.
No,
And
not at all.
Spy Family is not mid. Thank you. All right, so that's about it.
That's it.
All right, catch you guys next week with the next episode of That Time I Got Reincarnated into a podcast. Spy Family Review.
Peace.